Hello everyone, Menno here from HDashboards, and today we're going to take a look at update v0.9.0. So there's a couple of changes, and I'm going to try to make some more videos about the bigger changes that I'm actually doing. We'll try to do it on every update. There's also going to be a bit more time between updates, because we now also have an internal test team that come back with feedback to make sure we have less bugs in production. So that's very nice. We now are with about 6 testers. And I'm still the only developer and working also on deploying everything to everyone and trying to take a look as well on the feature requests that we have still open, and also looking at the voting system. So every month you can vote on our website which features you want most, and we will actually take a look at that. So let's take a look at my list and go through it. So the first thing I have on my list is a new option is to automatically change the dark mode or light mode of HDashboards depending on the settings of the device. So under settings, we now have a T mode. It was usually light and dark, and now we also have automatically. This means it will just follow your device settings. So let's say some people have their device configured like in the evening, switch to dark mode, in the morning, switch to light mode, and dashboards will follow this. To actually give an example of this, I can pull down the bar here and I can enable dark theme in native Android, and it will actually immediately turn HDashboards into dark mode as well. You can also do this for light mode, of course. When dark mode is disabled, you see it immediately here as well. So we also go to a dashboard and we'll do it again. And there it apparently didn't work completely well. Well, live demo, live video, I'm just gonna keep it as it, and I will take a look at it in update v0.9.1, I guess. Next on my list is the gradient on gauge cards. Gauge, don't know how to pronounce them still, but these cards, a lot of people like them a bit more in gradient. I also changed the arrow. By default they will be enabled. You can disable them in edit mode. There will be a new switch here for disabling the gradient. Then it will go back to what it once was. And otherwise it will have a gradient default as a default option enabled. The other option requested a lot and some other changes is the insights system has some bug fixes. So there's bug fixes to show better labels on the left side, better labels below it, and also a nice looking gradient. So you can sometimes see more the peaks and the lowers, and also when you combine multiple graphs, which we allow. Let's say I've combined here the landing temperature and the laundry temperature. These are two areas in the house that have a completely different temperature because the laundry is more almost outside of the house, so it's pretty cold there. And here you can see that both graphs are combined, which both have a nice gradient. And also here you can see the peaks are way more purple than the lows, so that's really nice. The other change that we did, well I did, is that you can click on them. It will make the graph way bigger. So next update you will be able to see the graphs bigger. What also nice is if you have two fingers and you can pinch, you can actually zoom in right now. Zoom in, zoom out on the graph, and basically just I don't know, it was an extra feature that I could add, so why not? So now clicking on graphs will make them bigger. That's also really nice. Let's see what else is on my list. There's some improvements on the unavailable devices. Sometimes they still were showing values that was wrong. You were able to still open them up with the we have an event system. Not even all people know about this, but when you hold down a device card, you can actually control the entire device. I will have an example, for instance, in the lights card. If I hold a lights card, see, you can go to way more of the device settings. And now that actually is something we take into account for unavailable devices to show you it's not available right now, so you cannot do it. The other things is digital clock improvements. A lot of people complained that after an update of streamlining the layout of HDashboards, the clock became smaller. So it actually became 1.5 times bigger again, depending on how many digits you have. If you have seconds in there as well, I think the size might not be different that much, or maybe a little bit bigger, but especially the ones that just shows the hour and the minutes is way bigger now to make sure you see it way better on from farther away, because most people of course have their dashboard hanging on a wall. We also redesigned the light system. So HDashboards never really had support for white lights or warm lights. We always had support for RGB, which did most of the cases, but now we actually improved this card to also have a bit of a gradient to just look better. So they start a bit darker, they start a bit lighter. They also better follow the brightness of a card. So when I dim a card, it's used to turn black in HDashboards. Now it's way better. It turns darker green instead of black. So that's way better. Other change is of course the support for white lights. So this is a light that only has a dim possibility in Homey, but it doesn't have color possibilities. You should not really look at this. This is my own bug because it's a virtual testing device. But now if a light only has normal light capability with on, off, or only dim, it shows as a yellowish light instead of green, because it was first taken as a device that was turned on and not as a light. Same goes for lights that can be warm white or cold white. This light is now put to very cold white, and that basically makes it very, bluish, because of course it goes between a bit of blue and a bit of more yellowish. I'm actually going to change the color in the Homey app right now, because HDashboards doesn't have the option yet to change the colors and the temperature, but we'll be adding that in a future update. This is actually really the start of it. So if I now make it way more yellow, you can see it turns more yellow. I can turn it more whitish, more bluish, and it will follow. So that's really nice. The other update that a lot of people asked about is also really nice, is the default dashboard. If you leave it and you're not using the dashboards anymore for some seconds, it should turn back or go back to the previous dashboard or to your main dashboards. So actually going back to your main dashboards is something that I've added right now. So if you go to settings, I would choose the startup dashboards to be YouTube in this example, and an inactivity timeout of let's say 5 seconds. Now this is configured. My startup dashboard says YouTube, and let's say I just want to control the lights and I want them to automatically go back to my main dashboard. So I click on lights. Nothing will happen right now. I can change everything that I want to. Let's change some values. Now be inactive for about 5 seconds. So it's also checking movement of cursor or touching, and it goes back. Perfect. I'm done with my lights. I am not touching the dashboard anymore. So now it can go back to the main one. This is extremely helpful for a couple of scenarios. Let's say you also make a companion flow in Homey Advanced Flows. You can make that if somebody presses your doorbell, you show a dashboard with the RTSP stream of this doorbell. So you can see live video footage of the camera. Then with this option, you could say, okay, 30 seconds, I didn't do anything, so automatically go back. Really helpful for those kind of situations, or just situations where you really control things in your house like lights, curtains, and they're under separated dashboards. Just go back automatically. Because usually this is not the type of screen you want to keep having all the time on your thing, on your wall. So going back is really helpful for that. Other than that, there are some bug fixes to make sure that some Homies don't have issues anymore with adding or editing cards. Of course, some stability improvements, and the notification system should work better. And that's basically what I have to say for now. So thanks for watching and have a lot of fun with your dashboards. For any questions, put them down in the comments. And thanks for watching. Please put a like and subscribe.